told you guys it was coming. What did I say? Literally last night, whenever you watched the video, I said, be on the lookout. We will hear news soon about contracts. And here we are today, breaking news regarding T. Higgins. But before we jump into any of that, I have more reports. Cincinnati did a lot today. Two things I'm going to be talking about today. But before I jump into anything, don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. We've already hit 1,000, but we're on the road to 2,000. I can't thank you guys enough for all the love you've shown this channel. Don't forget to like the video, share this video, and comment down below on what you feel about all this report. But let's jump right into it. First, we got to talk about something else other than T. Cincinnati Bengals released offensive guard Alex Cappa add extra cap space ahead of free agency. So, he was one of the cut candidates we talked about a couple weeks ago. First, when they released, oh my goodness, I can see him. Sheldon Rankins. When they released Sheldon Rankins, I said the next one I'm looking out for is Alex Cappa. Releasing Sheldon Rankins pretty much gave us about $10 million in cap space. Releasing Alex Cappa does the same thing. It's about $8 million in cap space we acquired from releasing Alex Cappa. Obviously, the first 2 years he was with us in 2022 and 2023, he had pretty good years. This year just didn't work out. Was actually PFF-wise the worst guard in NFL this season, and we were spending way too much money for him to be that. So we released him, got $8 million more in cap space. So now with our cuts, we have about pretty much a little bit less than $20 million in cap space added. So we have a roughly $70 million in cap space heading into 2025, which is obviously huge for the offseason that we are having ourselves in. And also another thing that is huge with this releasing or cutting, whatever you want to call it, which it's both, what are they going to do with the guard position? Because a lot of people were talking about this on Twitter. If you don't follow people on Bengals Twitter, go follow them. There's a lot of good conversation. But they have to have a plan at guard, right? I don't think, especially the Brown family, I don't think the Bengals front office would be releasing Alex Cappa unless they knew what they wanted to do in the guard position. Unless that's that's signing a free agent or drafting somebody. A lot of buzz has come out of Cincinnati Bengals having a meeting with offensive guard from Georgia, Tate Ratledge, and even our offensive tackle for the Bengals, Amarius Mims, who was teammates with Tate Ratledge, added fuel to the fire when posting a video of Ratledge's 40 time with the song "Freebird" on his Instagram story. But I talked about go back a month ago. I was talking about the offensive guard video, and one of the guys I mentioned a lot was Tate Ratledge. I think that would be huge. You could probably get him in the second round, and I think he would be extremely valuable in the second round. I think he would come in as the day one starter. But what this move means, basically for me, one, it adds a lot of room in the cap space, which is extremely helpful, especially this offseason. And two, it means the Cincinnati Bengals have some type of plan for the guard position. They know the guard position was not, or the offensive line itself, mainly guard position, was not up to standard. So releasing Alex Cappa proves to me that they have a plan and they know they're going to change it. Obviously, the first change was hiring Scott Peters to come in and fix the offensive line. And now they've released Alex Cappa. So there is some direction they're going in with the offensive guard room. Whatever that means, signing a free agent or drafting somebody, that's what I would do. I would go get a offensive guard like Will Fries in free agency, then draft a guy like Tate Ratledge or Clay Webb or Joshua Gray later in rounds in this draft. That would be my personal opinion. But for the reason you guys are here, this news came out today, just like Alex Cappa. It's official. Cincinnati Bengals placing franchise tag on T. Higgins for the second straight year. Yep, you heard that right. The Cincinnati Bengals have franchise tagged T. Higgins. This, it's a little bit, I even said this. I said be prepared for news around T. Higgins, whether that was going to be a long-term deal or the tag. I said the worst case scenario would be tagging him. Not meaning this is bad, but that should be the worst case scenario that we tag him. The worst case scenario would have been letting him walk in free agency. So the tag window closes tomorrow, I think around 4 p.m. So the Bengals pretty much a day before, 24 hours before, tagged T. Higgins, for $26 million. So next season, if he stays on the Bengals, he will be making $26 million as a wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals on this franchise tag year. And if I'm not mistaken, the Bengals would have an option to franchise tag him again next year for a third straight year. I think teams have 3 years to franchise tag somebody. I'm pretty sure. Fact check me if that's wrong. But anyways, hopefully it doesn't get to that. But there's multiple reasons the Bengals franchise tagged him. One, this early, thinking they weren't going to come to a deal in the next 24 hours, which makes sense. It's offseason kind of just started. But what this tag means is that it obviously gives Cincinnati a lot more wiggle room to work a long-term deal with T. Higgins. Obviously, he was going to be the top free agent in this year's offseason, but now that he is tagged, he is not the top free agent anymore because he's not a free agent. He is technically on contract for the Cincinnati Bengals. So what that means, either Bengals can trade him, teams can still offer him contracts, but if the Bengals match their contract, then the organization, whoever it may be, would have to send picks over to Cincinnati. So even if T leaves for another team, the Bengals would be compensated with first-round picks, which is a good thing. Or, obviously, the most likely, maybe not most likely, but what we hope for the most would be the Bengals having enough time to come to a long-term deal. So that is the good thing about tagging T. Higgins. It was the smart thing to do. If we let him go to free agency, which would basically put Cincinnati in a bidding war, and according to GMs, T. Higgins was going to go for around $30+ million a year in free agency. I don't know if Cincinnati feels comfortable spending that much money on a wide receiver 2 per year when he on averages misses 5 to 6 games a year. So there's a lot of good that comes out of a tag. And T. Higgins kind of broke the news himself. He went on X and just wrote and tweeted tag, period. So I'm assuming he's not the happiest with getting tagged 2 years in a row, obviously. But he has said multiple times, the Bengals front office has said multiple times, they want a long-term deal. I don't think they want to rush the deal. And tagging T gives them the necessary time to come to a long-term deal. This long-term deal is probably going to take the longest out of the 3. Jamar Chase, we know that deal is going to get done, even though the rumors have said that the deal isn't close to being done. We know that the deal is going to be done. It's a foregone conclusion that Jamar Chase is going to be a Bengal, and he's going to be the highest non-quarterback paid in the league history. Then Trey Hendrickson, like 80% sure that deal is going to get done. Just have to figure out the years and the guaranteed, all that good stuff. And then T will be the one that takes the longest. But with this tag, we don't have 24 hours anymore to get an extension. We have weeks, the whole year, basically. We could even, with this tag, we could keep T. Higgins on the team until the trade deadline in mid-season and then trade him mid-season. That could be an option. I'm not saying that we should, but I'm just saying that could be an option. Obviously, if Cincinnati Bengals don't do anything after the tag, T could sit out the 2025 season if he wanted to. He could sit out the 2025 season. That doesn't mean Cincinnati has to pay him. It's kind of like a play and get paid, or sit and don't get paid kind of situation. But T, if nothing happens, T is a Bengal for 2025. Unless the Bengals trade him or a team offers him, Cincinnati Bengals match it, then T would go to that team, and then we would get some picks from that team. So that's basically the tag, what it means, why it's a smart move. I think they did it primarily to have more time to negotiate, to get a long-term deal, which is obviously the best case scenario. Let's get a long-term deal with T. Higgins, and I think the Bengals could sign him for significantly less than what he would make in free agency, so we would be getting a good deal realistically. Or a team offers him a contract, Cincinnati Bengals match it, T. Higgins goes whoever offers him, but we get picks from that team, which is kind of a win-win situation. Or we just straight up trade him. We trade him to a team, and that team trades us whatever they feel valuable for T. Higgins. So that's why the tag was made, to give us more time to do a long-term deal, or we have options where we're not just letting T. Higgins walk. That was the problem what we did with Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates walked in free agency. We drafted him, we trained him, and we turned him into one of the best safeties in the league, but then we didn't for whatever reason, did not extend him, and he walked in free agency for free. Cincinnati does not want that to happen with T. Higgins. Cincinnati wants to handle what T. Higgins does, whether that's extending him for long term in Cincinnati, getting compensated with picks, or trading him for a player or for some picks, whatever that is. And if the market for T. Higgins is anything like Deebo Samuel, which I don't think it is, 5th-round pick is not enough for T. Higgins. So don't trade him for a 5th-round pick. I would need more, at least a 2nd-round pick for T. Higgins. Probably more if it's a 2nd-round pick. But anyways, I digress. That is why the franchise tag makes sense, and I was expecting it today, and that's what we got. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. We're on the road to 2,000. I think we can hit it pretty soon. Hope maybe by my birthday. My birthday is the last day of March 31st. If we can hit 2,000 before that, I don't know what I would do, but I would do something. But don't forget to like this video. Share this video with your Cincinnati Bengals fans, because Cincinnati Bengals football is better together. Comment down below how you feel about 1, releasing Alex Cappa, and 2, how you feel about the Cincinnati Bengals franchise tagging T. Higgins. But for the Bengals Digest channel, I'm Carson Lokey. Have a good, wherever you watch this, have a good night, a good day, good morning, whenever you're watching this, and God bless.